share. Whoa. Oh, it's live. Yo, what up, everyone? It's Crypto Okie here with the weekly crypto rundown. Today, I'm sharing my top 5 tokens for 2025, called the Jurassic Epoch for reasons you'll see. All right, coming in at number 5. This is for the rest of the year. We have 4 months left, so still quite 3 months left, and going into 2025. So coming in at number 5 is Stellar. We have XLM, Stellar, a Dino for sure. I'm gonna get my notebook real quick. I think Stellar was 2014 it was invented. So here we go. Here's the 2017 18 high, got all the way up to about 90 cents. In 2021, it approached 80 cents. So we'll see. We have a clear downtrend, and then it went up. We really only went sideways for a little bit before just exploding to the upside. Here we've gone sideways or gone down into 2023. 2024 has just been essentially completely sideways. Over a year and a half. I do expect this to break to the upside relatively soon. It really could happen anytime. If we kind of put on this, we can kind of see something like this. Kind of a triangle here. It really could. It could take a few more months, but it could also break out end of year, going into 2025. I expect this thing to really take off. If we just measure from here, from this kind of triangle, sense. So we're looking at a 70 cents. Maybe 90, 80, 70. So I put the minimum target about 70 cents. I think it's going to go much higher. I think once we do that, we'll also kind of have a symmetrical ascending triangle. So that's a symmetrical triangle. We could also, once we do come to those levels, come up here. That's what I think is going to happen. I think end of year, we're going to be approaching this 50 cent level. Maybe go sideways for a few months, and then in 2025 really blast up onto some big numbers. So again, 70 is my kind of minimum target, 70 cents. That's a times 7 right now. And let's check if we have something like this, 52 cents. We're looking at $1.05. So 70 cents to $1.05, and then I do think we'll have a kind of a blow off top higher than that. So 70 cents is a times 7, $1 is a times 10, and we'll kind of see where that goes. But I'm a big fan of Stellar here. If we look at the weekly, we look at some moving averages. We need to get above this 20. We need to get above this area. The good thing is, here's the July 4th kind of crash. Then we had, early August, a couple weeks ago. I loved how it bounced off this level. I do believe the low is in here at 7 cents, 7.5 cents. And I don't really want to see it go below there anymore, but we're really looking. Let's get into this line and end of the month, maybe October, we break out of this kind of area. So Stellar's looking good. Weekly, I mean, it's not looking great yet. It just looks like it has once it gets above this 11-cent range, it could really have some big potential. And there's that day where everything crashed. I think ETH went down 20%, and this was barely a red candle, just a absolutely monster candle here. So look at it, reversed it. So let's see. Maybe we come down a little bit lower, but I do like this Stellar to perform pretty well. Now, if we're looking at it against Bitcoin, I also am digging this chart. This is the daily chart. So we have some sort of, bottom here in June. The crashes of July 4th or 5th and August 5th have not taken it to new lows against Bitcoin. So relatively optimistically, cautiously bullish against Bitcoin. We do need to get above this area here, which I believe we will, maybe in September. So we'll keep an eye on that. But Stellar is number 5. Definitely a dino crypto with our theme. So again, expecting anywhere from minimum 70 cents up to maybe my medium target would be $1. And, some of those crazier numbers, you really never know with crypto. And again, I think this is going to be, there's the weekly. Again, we really need to get above this 20-week moving average, which I do think will happen relatively soon. And then we'll get some big numbers here. Just with the length of that triangle, I mean, we're talking, if we're starting from over here, we're talking 83-month, symmetrical triangle. That's huge. We could really see some high numbers. You could even see 100x from here. I mean, $9 is a lot, but possible. So I like it in the single digit range somewhere. Maybe not quite $5, but I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. I would not put it past XLM in 2025. It's looking good against Bitcoin. All right, moving on to number 4. We have Monero, the privacy coin. It's also kind of interesting. We have a few themes that will play out here, but the privacy coins are kind of got me interested. Why? The question is, why are they doing well? I think is an interesting question. So, if we look at the monthly Monero chart, we also have, a high. It was breached in 2021, so that's good. That's fine. But essentially, you have a double top around 450. We had a drawdown, obviously, and then we've been going sideways for about a year and a half now. Just over 2 years of just pure sideways action, which I absolutely love. Just very well defined kind of area. We need to get above 175, 180, it looks like. And then this thing is, I mean, it's going higher. It's going up high. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get some numbers here. Just a super conservative number would be coming out of this thing. My first target is about 250. So $100. It looks like from where we're at now. But if we get something more, more ascending triangle like, if this plays out, we're going to put it down a little. Put it there. $384 from here. So we're looking at about $800. I'll say that. I'm pretty confident we'll see $800 out of Monero. Monero has about the same supply as Bitcoin right now, about 18 million. Privacy coins. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Here's one. We'll see why that's doing so well. If we look against Bitcoin, the monthly doesn't look that great. Weekly, however, is looking pretty nice. We stopped going down. We've gone sideways. Let's see. I definitely expect a leg up. And if you look at on the daily, it looks very clear cup and handle potential here. So we really need to, looking at something like that. Cup, beautiful handle, another little handle. So, I mean, I think I really expect Monero to bust out to the upside relatively soon. This is just a beautiful, beautiful little formation. The 200-day for the XRM versus Bitcoin is, that's sloping down, but it will, even out here soon. And then, so we're going to lose these top averages here in about a week. So let's see it. Let's check in next week, but that slope is really going to even out here soon in the next week, and just provide support as it looks to. Broke down, broke above. We'll definitely be looking at that. And if we go back, this is the order book, so we can see some stuff. If we go back to XLM to Stellar, I'm seeing a lot of buying here and not a lot of selling. So even today, I mean, this is a very short chart, but it's looking pretty good. Sometimes these don't, I take it with a grain of salt, but I'm not seeing any selling. I can tell you that. So I expect Stellar to go higher. And now looking at Monero is not as clear. We're seeing a lot of both. So I'm not seeing much here either way, bullish or bearish, out of Monero, which is fine. But yeah, really, really like Monero. And if we kind of go on a more week, we can kind of see, well, there's that weekly. There's that line that we really, again, above 180, and this thing is off to the races. Off to the races. Again, that's, we're looking at 117 weeks. So like I said, 2 years. And if we go in more, we can kind of get maybe a better idea. We have this downtrend on the daily. So if we can get above this, we're holding on to the 200-day moving average actually, which is really nice. So that makes me really excited if we can break this downtrend or when. So it might take a few days, a week. I like this one coming into next week. Maybe towards the end of next week, we're going to see. But I think you could really, if this breaks, that's going higher, and then we're talking about, we're up at that level again, maybe a few days, and then up higher. So Monero is my number four. I'm going backwards. Number 4 crypto of the Jurassic Epoch of 2025. I'm very bullish on this. I do find it interesting why, and maybe scary possibly, but I am curious as to why, this privacy token is doing well. Last bull run was the NFTs, the dog coins, maybe because random people, everybody had money and was just spending on crazy shit. Now the world's a lot different. The governments are cracking down on people. The governments have just become absolutely unhinged. I don't have the right word for it right now, but they're aggressive governments with their people. And so I don't know. I don't know if this is signaling a borders are win in 2024 or what, but we'll see. We will see. Or maybe it's just some people scared hedging. If she wins, they want to get out of that system. I mean, if Kamala wins, you don't want the U.S. dollar. I'm sure it'll be good for crypto either way. But if she wins, it might be better for these privacy coins. People who don't want, to know what, want to hide a little. Can't hide with Bitcoin, can't hide with ETH, but Monero gives you that opportunity. So we'll come back to that. We'll be monitoring that in the next few months. But yeah, it's just so well defined. Very bullish on XMR Monero going into 2025. I think that's all I had to say about that. I'll just see if we need any more indicators. And one thing about all these that I'm showing you today is the monthly CMF is just absolutely at levels we really have only seen. I mean, we're almost flirting with an all-time high here, and we haven't even broken out yet. So I do expect this to go higher. I think this is showing us the longer term is up. The price has gone sideways for 2 years now, but the chalk and money flow has gone up. So I'm pretty pleased with these picks. All right, let's move on to number 3 is Aave. Let me put in. Just go to the crypto one. All right, so here's Monero for reference is also a 2014 coin. So those are the dinos, 2 dinos, Stellar and Monero on our list. Next we have Aave, a different play. It does have the second most total value locked. So this is our kind of our different play. 19 billion in total value locked. Cuban kind of backs this one. It's got some. So it's got some legs. I like it. We'll see what happens. Not a dino. This is a 2017 token, so we don't really have any. It looks like it came out right around that bull run top. That would have been nice to get it at 25 cents, huh? That's crazy. But, you know, we've been going sideways. We look to be breaking higher like we want to. Let's look at the weekly. Again, it kind of has a similar feel to Monero. It does have, it kind of, I don't know if that is a false breakout or, a precursor of things to come. I like it. I also like how it's bounced off recently, having a great week. And we need to see some follow through next week. Could really bolster the case for Aave, especially if some of these, if Bitcoin kind of can go sideways, if ETH can kind of find a bottom, some of these that are positioned well on the charts could be very could see significant gains. So here, if we're just kind of calling that a false breakout, and more to come, we're looking at 175. I do think it'll go higher. I don't know. This is the one today that I don't know if we're gonna, break all-time highs, but it's still got a lot of upside potential. We're looking like there's a few ways you can draw this, and whatever way is, it looks like it's about to break out. If you draw it that way, you can put it there, you can put it there. You kind of have a wonky head and shoulders. Not the best, but anyway, you can see it. We're breaking higher, and this one I don't have huge. I just don't know where it's going to go exactly. But I do think it'll be a 3, 4, 5x, possibly higher. We'll see kind of how this narrative plays out. I don't know the narrative exactly here, but this is more of an ETH play, and comes in at number 3. Looking against, let's go back. Looking against Bitcoin again, we are above the 200-day moving average. The 20 has crossed, and I like what is happening here. Maybe we stay sideways for a little bit, kind of something like this, sideways action, and then go higher is what I'm looking here at Aave. That's against Bitcoin. So we'll see. We have this downtrend. Can it break it? I mean, again, there's anywhere up to the upside, and it breaks this trend. Let's see how long this trend is. This is a 185 weeks. So that's almost 4 years against Bitcoin, where it's just been going down. We will be monitoring that closely. It could also break higher and kind of come back. But yeah, there we go with Aave. Let's look at the order book real quick. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's USD, looks fine. It's Bitcoin. It's getting a little more sell pressure. It's got, it's got both sides. So not looking for anything too crazy soon, but we'll keep an eye on that. So looks good. All right, let's go ahead and move on to number 2, which is Zcash. Now, Zcash did just have a bottom on that July 4th. I think something's going on. This is another privacy token. It's kind of a fork of Bitcoin, so it has the same supply, but we're sitting at $40 as opposed to $60,000. So we'll see. Zcash is by far the strongest recently, relatively the strongest crypto, really, that I'm sharing for sure, but also that I've seen in the charts recently. we have this last week. It printed this break of this kind of broadening bottom that is just so beautiful. It's a beauty. So that's initial target we have in the 50s, 60s, but I do, you know, let's pull up the crypto. You know, I just think that the chart does look great, but there's also some other things going on here. But I just really think the potential here is pretty amazing. Again, here's the 2017 high. Didn't really even come close to hitting that, and here we go. So I do expect us to hit this area relatively soon off of this bottom, maybe sideways for a little bit, and then that next leg up to really high numbers. I mean, this chart is kind of odd just because of the way it dropped. But we kind of got that wedge going here. I mean, if you're looking for, kind of crazy, crazy numbers, I would not. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an $800. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this in the thousands, and we're sitting at $42. So Zcash again. I don't know if something's up. Maybe they're going to take the election again, and people are going to flock into Monero, Zcash, places where you can hide your money a little easier. I mean, I don't think she's going to win. I'm pretty confident Trump's going to win. I forgot I had my hat on. But, I don't know. The charts are saying something. So we'll definitely see what's happening here. Zcash is 2016 it was invented. I'll give this the dyno call. We'll call Zcash a dyno. It was, there for the 2017. Had a year. They had a weird start, so that's what happened here with the supply. I forget what happened, but there is Zcash. So I also like that it matches up with Monero. It kind of gives me confident that something's happening in this privacy sector, privacy token sector. So that's kind of my number one or number two. My I would say my second theme for the dyno Jurassic period. All right. Let's go on to, let's look at, and then if we look at Zcash versus Bitcoin, it's just looking real nice. I would like to see if we have there's some kind of slingshot kind of thing going here. Weekly, again, we had the pump off the bottom, sideways, and then another pump. So most of the coins we've looked at have not had this second pump, which I really like. Well above the 200 starting to move up, well above the 20. We definitely could have some sort of pullback into this range, hitting off a moving average or whatever. But it really hasn't significant since 2022. It hasn't been above this 200. So, and it just crossed in July, a month ago. So I don't think this is this trend will end anytime soon. We're really just beginning some of these trends. So if we look here at the order book for Zcash, against Bitcoin, it's a tough chart. Decent. It looks fine. We are seeing some selling here. I'm not too worried about it, but we're seeing some selling. I would like it to kind of keep going sideways before going higher. And so that is Zcash. And now for the number one crypto of the Jurassic Epoch. You already know. We have Ripple XRP. Look at this beast. And speaking of dinos, the ultimate dino, 2013. That's only 4 years after Bitcoin. So, this thing's still hanging around in the top 10. This is my number one pick because of many reasons, but kind of has a somewhat proven track record. All the SEC stuff has taken place now, so we're all done with that. We are done with that. Gracias a Dios. Here's that symmetrical triangle that just keeps on going, huh? Keeps on going. So, and we are just right smack dab in the middle. So I guess this is that goes with XLM. They kind of go together. So you kind of have a banking thing here going. So I don't know what this. I think that's a little harder to figure out what is going on here. But you're definitely getting more of these banking tokens. Now this one, the supply is pretty, and with XLM, the supply is pretty out of control. But something's happening here. This move gives us 27. Let's just put it over here. I mean, we're looking at 350. So approaching highs, I would say that's a given. Not quite a 10x. That's happening. And then if we kind of, we have another one. Where's this one goes? Yeah, again, the minimum is in the 350 range to $4, but I do see it going twice as high, 3 times as high. I really like that 9 area. So that really gives you some good upside potential here. If we look at the weekly, again, we had, there's the July 4th low off of it. The August 5th, I think it was, kind of crashed, just bam, right? Finished a green month. Looking good. We definitely need to get above, and it could happen anytime, but it could also take a while. We get above this area, the 65 cents, then we're getting up to 75. I mean, these things will happen quickly once they happen. There will not be a lot of time. It's kind of one of those things. You have all the time in the world until you don't. And I mean, we could literally have, hopefully we get a green one and it's a green candle this week or this month. Sorry, we got 2 weeks left, and then the next month. So maybe September, October, these things will fly or start to. So there you have that. Again, going back to the CMF monthly, looking absolutely great. A lot of good things going out of here. A lot of good things. And especially as we relate them to Bitcoin. I mean, again, here we go. Bottom above the 200 days for now. How many days are we? Almost 2 weeks above the 200-day moving average against Bitcoin. And if we look at this chart, it is a little different than some of the other cryptos we've been looking at. We're still really, since its inception, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. We really haven't broken this area, which is good. So I think this one's primed to pump the most as we get into this area and go higher. That's why XRP is number one in our listing. Everything, just a lot of good positive stuff going on with XRP and and it's primed to go do well against Bitcoin. It's doing pretty well. Again, we just see a breakout, and dominoes will start falling. Dominoes will start falling. So there you have it. That is my top 5 cryptos for 2025. I call it the Jurassic Epoch because we have 4 of those. Our dinos, I think it's going to be a resurgence of some of those dino coins, the older ones. I threw Aave in there because I just like what's happening. I don't really know, so we had to put that in there. Zcash has I just see crazy upside for Zcash, kind of irrational, kind of craziness going on there, and I like that it goes with Monero. XRP, I also see huge upside, but I see it almost more guaranteed. So maybe not as big gains, but I think more guaranteed. I like what's going on right now. Also, order book looks clean. Also, it going with XLM gives me reassurance. So that is why I have put XRP at number 1. And, if we just want to take a quick glance at Bitcoin, here we are. We're at this. I like this consolidation at the top. I mean, it is kind of. I'm even fine with this flagging down a little. And once this thing starts to go up, oh my God, all these other cryptos are going to go crazy. It doesn't look imminent. Definitely does not look imminent. But even if it starts to just recover at some of these levels, it kind of. I think we'll keep going down into these areas a little. I like how it came up into the low 50s, kind of create some sort of ascending triangle out of here into October and maybe reapproaching all-time highs and then kind of going up. So I see the rest of 2024 pretty sideways for Bitcoin. ETH would be pretty lucky I think it will also have some sort of triangle here, clearly below the support line here. So ETH not too hot on at all. Bitcoin's just doing its thing. So there you go, fam. What up, Crypto Okie in the house? Let's go. Peace.